Hello and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In today's video, we'll learn how to interface an I2C LCD module with an Arduino. In one of our previous videos, we have seen how to interface a regular 16x2 LCD with an Arduino and discussed the liquid crystal library and its functions in detail. If you haven't watched that video yet, we highly recommend checking it out first. On the screen, you can see the connection diagram of a regular 16x2 LCD with an Arduino in 8-bit mode. As you can see, a standard LCD consumes a lot of pins, 10 pins in 8-bit mode and at least 7 pins in 4-bit mode. That's almost half of the Arduino's digital pins gone. Now, what if we told you that you could interface the same LCD with an Arduino using just 2 digital pins, along with 5 volts and ground? Enter the I2C LCD module. This module converts the I2C data from the Arduino into the parallel data required by the LCD to operate. This is made possible by an 8-bit I/O expander chip called the PCF8574. The module also includes a small potentiometer that allows you to fine-tune the display contrast. You'll also notice a jumper on the board that supplies power to the LCD backlight. If you want to control the backlight brightness externally, you can simply remove this jumper and connect an external voltage source to the pin labeled LED. The module features a 16-pin header that matches the standard LCD pinout, allowing it to plug directly into the LCD. The first pin is ground, so make sure it aligns with the GND pin on the LCD for correct orientation. In addition, there is a separate 4-pin header used to connect the module to an Arduino or any other microcontroller. The pins are GND for connecting the ground potential, VCC for connecting 5 volts, followed by the 2 I2C communication pins, SDA for serial data, and SCL for the serial clock. The module also includes 3 solder pads labeled A0, A1, and A2, which are used for I2C address selection. The lower pads are connected to the PCF8574 IC and are pulled high by default using onboard pull-up resistors, while the upper pads are connected to ground. If you're using only a single I2C LCD module, you can leave these solder pads unchanged. However, when multiple LCD modules share the same bus, each device must have a unique address. This can be achieved by changing the address configuration using these solder pads. One important detail to keep in mind is that the PCF8574 chip is manufactured by different companies, such as Texas Instruments and NXP Semiconductors. The default I2C address of your LCD depends on which manufacturer's chip is used on the module. If your LCD uses the Texas Instruments PCF8574, then the 7-bit I2C address register looks something like this. As we can see, the 3 address selection bits, A0, A1, and A2, occupy the least significant bits of the register. Since all 3 address inputs are pulled high by default, leaving all the jumpers open results in a default address of 27. If all 3 jumpers are shorted to ground, the address changes to 20. This gives a total of 8 possible addresses, ranging from 20 to 27. The solder jumper combinations for all 8 possible addresses are shown here. On the other hand, if your LCD uses NXP's PCF8574 chip, then the 7-bit I2C address register looks something like this. The address selection bits A0, A1, and A2 are located in the same position, but the remaining bits of the register are different. With all address inputs pulled high by default, the module's default I2C address becomes 3F. Shorting all 3 jumpers changes the address to 38, giving a total of 8 possible addresses ranging from 38 to 3F. The solder jumper configuration for all 8 possible addresses are shown here. So our I2C LCD module's default address is probably either 27 or 3F. But don't worry if you can't find the chip manufacturer information anywhere. There's an easy solution. We can run a simple Arduino sketch called the I2C Scanner. This sketch will help you discover the correct address automatically. But before we do that, we first need to connect the LCD module to our Arduino. The connections are very simple. First, connect the VCC pin of the module to the Arduino's 5-volt pin and the GND pin to the Arduino's ground. Next, we connect the I2C communication lines. The Arduino's A4 pin is connected to the SDA pin of the module, and the A5 pin is connected to the SCL pin of the module. With the hardware connected, let's look at the I2C scanner code. You can find this sketch in the Arduino IDE by clicking on the File menu. selecting examples, then navigating to the wire library, and finally choosing the I2C Scanner example. Let's briefly understand how this code works. At the top of the sketch, we include the wire library, which handles all the I2C communications. Inside the setup function, we initialize the Arduino as an I2C master by calling the wire.begin function with no parameters. We then start serial communication using serial.begin function at a baud rate of 9600, followed by printing a header message to the serial monitor. Now, inside the loop function, we declare an integer variable called nDevices to keep track of how many I2C devices are detected. We begin by printing a scanning message on the serial monitor. After that, a for loop runs through all possible I2C addresses from 1 to 126. For each address, the Arduino starts a transmission and immediately ends it. The return value of the nTransmission function is stored in a byte variable named error. As discussed in our previous video on the wire library, the nTransmission function returns a status code. A return value of 0 means the transmission was successful, while a value of 4 indicates an error. So we will use an if and else if statement to evaluate this return value. If wire.nTransmission function returns 0, it means a device has acknowledged that address, indicating a valid I2C device. In that case, we print I2C device found at address 0x on the serial monitor. If the address is less than 16, we print an extra 0 so that all addresses are displayed in a consistent 2-digit hexadecimal format. We then print the address in hexadecimal and increment the nDevices counter. If wire.nTransmission function returns 4, it indicates an unknown communication error. In this case, we print unknown error at address 0x, again adding a leading 0 if required, followed by the address in hexadecimal. For any other return value, it simply means there is no device present at that address. Once the for loop has finished scanning all addresses, we check the value of nDevices variable. If no devices are found, the message no I2C device found is printed on the serial monitor. If one or more devices respond, the message done is displayed. The program then waits for 5 seconds before repeating the scan, allowing the Arduino to continuously monitor the I2C bus. If you're having trouble understanding I2C communication or the wire library functions, be sure to check out our previous video where we explain both of these topics in detail. Now let's upload this sketch to the Arduino. And after a successful upload, let's open the serial monitor. In a few moments, you should see the I2C address of your LCD module displayed on the screen. Now that we have identified the I2C address of the LCD, we can move on to controlling the I2C LCD itself. For this, we'll use the Arduino Liquid Crystal I2C library by Frank de Brabander. To install the library, click on the Library Manager icon on the left sidebar. In the search bar, type Liquid Crystal to filter the results. Look for the Liquid Crystal I2C library by Frank de Brabander and click the Install button to add it to your Arduino IDE. Once the installation is complete, it's a good idea to restart the Arduino IDE. After restarting, we begin by including 2 libraries in our sketch. The first is the wire library, which handles all the I2C communications, and the second is the Liquid Crystal I2C library, which manages all LCD-related commands. Next, we define our LCD object. To do this, we write the name of the library followed by the name of our object, which can be anything. Here, we'll call it LCD. Inside the parentheses, we specify 3 parameters. The I2C address of the LCD module, which we had found earlier using the I2C Scanner sketch, followed by the number of columns and rows of the LCD. With this line, we are creating an object named LCD from the Liquid Crystal I2C library and calling its constructor, which initializes the display with the correct address and dimensions. In the setup function, we initialize the LCD over the I2C bus using the lcd.init function. In the regular Liquid Crystal library, this is done using lcd.begin function with row and column parameters, but in this I2C library, it is replaced by the init function, which requires no parameters. The I2C library also allows us to control the LCD's backlight. Calling lcd.backlight function turns the backlight on, while lcd.noBacklight function can be used to turn the backlight off. Most of the remaining functions are identical to those in the regular liquid crystal library, which makes it easy for anyone already familiar with the standard LCD library to transition to I2C liquid crystal library. As a simple test, let's print Hello World on the LCD. For this, we first set the cursor position using the lcd.setCursor function, and then display the text using the lcd.print function. Now let's upload this code to our Arduino. And after a successful upload, you should see Hello World displayed on the LCD screen. If the text is not visible, try adjusting the contrast using the small blue potentiometer on the LCD module until the text becomes clear. And that brings us to the end of this video. We hope you found it helpful. Be sure to check out our channel and visit our website for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.